It wasn't their fault completely.
It was a bunch of researchers, astronomers, and astrophysicists that back in 2017 captured the first ever image of what is believed to be a black hole.
And did they explain what they think it is? Like the black hole swallowed a sun, swallowed a star, and it kind of lit up before it died?
No, they haven't really offered like an explanation like that.
They're just like, hey, here's this picture.
Because my understanding is they don't exactly know how black holes are created. They have theories as to how they're created, but they don't know.
But like, for the longest time, we were always told we don't really know where or what one is. We can't see one. You know, like it's hard to see a black hole. And then all of a sudden they show this picture and it looks like it swallowed a sun. And like at the last glimpse of light, like you can see like a little center of a black hole. That's just me. I'm not a scientist or an astronomer or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to figure out how they could have got this picture and then come to the conclusion that it's a black hole. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's see here. Let me
steal some more popcorn here.
It's from a sophisticated scientific collaboration called the Event Horizon Telescope, which involves 200 scientists in 20 countries who've been working together for nearly a decade. The image they created has been eagerly anticipated by all those enthralled by black holes, and it does not disappoint. A deep black well in the center of a bright ring of plasma and gas. Some may not be impressed by the slight blurriness of the image, but there's so much more than what it immediately meets the eye. Two astrophysicists, Shepard Doleman, the project leader of the Event Horizon Telescope, and Katie Mack of North Carolina State University, who was not involved with the effort, walked this writer through some of the cool aspects that help you appreciate just how awesome this is. So, it says first, let's begin with this is according to Vox.com. It's not like a super reliable source.
Vox, but like, is that a magazine?
Or it's like a media outlet.
Okay.
So it says first, let's begin with the dark spot, the hole in the center. Mm-hmm. The first thing to know is that while it may look like an object, it isn't one, or not exactly. The dark spot is a shadow, a sink, an exit portal from our observable universe. There's light in that dark spot, but we can't see it because it's forever removed from our view.
So they're saying the center of that hole is like another dimension?
Not necessarily.
It's
Why don't you,
can
you switch to internet view and pull it up in the background?
Well, okay, let me pull it up real quick so they don't have to see me stumble all over the internet. What's just Vox? Should I just search?
I would just search for first black hole photo.
First black hole photo.
Go to images.
Images.
It's that one right on your mouse.
Time.com?
Yeah.
Oh. So you want me to show them what the image
Yeah, so like right click and say open a new tab or something.
Well, this is Time Magazine. We can just visit the website. Yeah. Okay. What? Why? What? Get out of here.
Add covered content.
Just get out of here. Okay.
There's an ad over the image right now.
Oh, is this an ad? What? Advertisers are getting ballsy.
Well, so just to continue. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to continue, it does say hello.
Hello. Okay, there's a picture of the black hole.
It says that the black hole is black because of a singularity, or a region where the fabric of space and time itself has collapsed in on itself, forming a single point with infinite density. That single point has such strong gravity that as light approaches it, there's a region beyond which nothing can escape its grasp. That region, called the event horizon, is kind of like the top of a waterfall.
This part right here.
The very center, yeah, the black dot that's in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, so to compare it to a waterfall, it says, imagine a fish swimming towards the top of the waterfall.
Okay.
At a certain point, the water is rushing so fast that the fish cannot escape by swimming in the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
In this metaphor, the beam of light is the fish, and it's approaching the black hole. When the matter and light get too close to the black hole just swallows it up. It removes that light from the universe.
Wouldn't the light be the water?
Can you just stop?
Just saying.
These are people that are way smarter than us explaining this to him, okay?
I know, it seems like... I guess light could be water and the matter can be the fish.
Anyway...
Just saying.
So then it says,
just saying.
When you look at the dark region of the black hole,
yes.
know that there is light and matter there. We just can never ever see it. Those fishes have left our observable universe.
Okay, that part right there, they're basically saying it's an exit.
That part blows my mind.
It's an exit of our observable universe.
Yes.
So does that mean that it goes outside of our observable universe, or does that mean it goes to another universe? Another dimension?
We don't know.
Why don't we know? Let's send scientists. Let's send astronauts. Let's send ostriches out there. Let's figure this out. I want to know where to go.
You heard it first. We're sending ostriches to space.
Astronaut ostriches to black holes to see where the fuck they go. Okay, but I'm trying to understand what this glowing part is. What is this?
We'll get to it.
How are we seeing this? All of a sudden now we're seeing this? Or we've seen this since 2017? This picture was taken in 2017?
This was taken in 2017, but it was not made publicly available until just on the 10th of April, yesterday.
And why? Why? Are they trying to not scare the public?
They're trying to study it, I'm sure. Anyway, so to second, think about what is happening to the light that we can see.
Okay.
In the image, look at the ring surrounding the dark center. You'll see it's brighter on the bottom than on the top.
Yeah.
You might think this ring of material, or the innermost edge of it, represents that event horizon, but it actually doesn't. That boundary is actually known as the photon orbit, and its diameter is about 2.5 times larger than that of the event horizon. Light that travels beyond the photon orbit could conceivably escape the black hole if something was to reflect it back, but it's unlikely to. All the light in this region is heading toward the event horizon, and we don't see it because it makes it there.
What?
I know, right? It says, let me repeat that again. Light that travels beyond that photon orbit could conceivably escape the black hole if something was to reflect it back, but it's unlikely to. All of the light in this region is heading toward the event horizon, and we don't see it because it makes it there. So what it's saying
So it's saying that all this darkness right here is full of light, but we can't see it.
No. Inside.
All this in here?
Like, the bright glowing part of it,
right, the bottom
is
part,
the photon orbit. Okay. And the reason why it goes, like, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, so the black hole in the center, that's the event horizon. No. It's in there, but it's not that entire black circle in the middle.
So are we seeing that light on the other side of the observable universe? Is that what they're saying? Like, we don't see it until it gets there?
No, what it's saying is that there would have been more light there, but it's reached that event horizon and the light can't escape it, so that's why it just goes black.
This is more than my little tiny.
I
brain
know.
can
Same
comprehend.
here. Same here. It says the ring around the photon orbit is bright because the matter in it is being torn to smithereens at temperatures measured in the billions of degrees as it's devoured by the black hole. It's brighter at the bottom because that light is actually moving toward us. This is due to something similar to the Doppler effect. Think about how a siren sounds much higher in pitch as a cop car moves towards you. And it tells us that about how this material is rotating as it falls into the whirlpool or waterfall. The light you do see in this image, which are really representations of radio waves, more on that later, isn't just coming from the sides of the black hole, it's coming from behind it, from in front of it, from in all directions. Space and time is so warped that some of the light orbits the black hole in a circle.
So this is a sphere. It's a ball.
Not necessarily. It's just saying that the light is coming from all directions.
I guess.
And some light orbits it. It's hard to wrap one's mind around. Fortunately, the National Science Foundation made this handy animation showing how the light warps.
Oh, I wish I had that animation.
Pull it up in another tab. Go to,
How about I just go Vox?
Okay, Vox.
What's the URL?
It's too long for me to say, so just do vox.com.
Vox.com.
And the name of the article is How to Make Sense of the Black Hole Image.
Search. How to make sense.
Please hold.
That's not how you spell sense.
Nope, there isn't.
There it is. Sense
of the black hole image.
Black hole. Not yo. Image. I am very bad at spelling. Sorry, everyone. Oh, there's the animation right here.
So I scrolled down.
Hey, you can see the ads of things that I was trying to search in the past. Okay, so this is what we're seeing, right? So all the light that we see is actually coming from behind it and all around it?
No, it says it's coming from all directions.
Okay. But I don't get this, like, this part right here. Like, what was this then? Is this,
They're
this
showing
is just
you
what we
why
can
it
see?
produced the image that it did.
Mm.
So that's just what it's showing you. You guys can see it.
Okay.
For those of you that are watching. For those of you that are listening, you'll just have to check out Vox, that's vox.com, and just search for it's the...
How to make sense of a black hole image. Yes.
And they've got a really good animation there to explain it a little bit better, since this is...
So this is supposedly happening all around it. This isn't just, like, in one direction.
Right, they're just showing you we captured a snapshot, which is just from one direction, very two-dimensional.
Okay.
So they're just showing you how that snapshot would have been captured. Technically, at any angle, it should have been able to capture that same thing.
It's so weird.
Right? It's pretty awesome.
And then Porky Pig comes out and goes, "That's all, folks."
So it's just saying on the animation, it shows how the light warps and slings around the black hole, leading to the image that we see. But the new image is truly extraordinary because it lets us see for the first time how the raw geometry of space-time.
What is... Okay, so there's this thing, though, where people are saying that time doesn't
That gets into a whole lot of quantum physics
Well, because, I mean, to me it makes sense because time really is man-made. We made time up. I mean, other than the sun coming up and going down, we pretty much just said, okay, well, it takes this long, and this is how we're going to say it's measured, and then for a day. And then the railroad came to America, and we're like, that's how time zones became a thing, was because the railroad came in. And it used to be that time varied from town to town. Like, it could be like noon in one town, and then the next town over it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's why the railroad was like, okay, we're gonna make time zones because we can't do this whole like, oh, it's 2 o'clock in this town, it's noon in this one. So they were like, okay, so here's the time zone here, and here, and bullshit like that. But and then they had daylight savings.
Okay, so that's a cool story and all, but you do realize that there's time zones all around the world where there's no railroads that exist, right?
Where?
Literally all around the world. Everyone has a time zone.
America is the only country that has railroads.
Seriously. You know this shit. Come on. Anyway.
I'm just saying. Time. I feel like time was made by humans and time doesn't really exist in space.
We definitely, I believe, dictated the format of our time. Yes. Because we wanted to have some way to measure it. A lot of times we would just measure based off of hours of daylight that we had, but then we realized that changed throughout the year. Did
it change? Yeah, it changed. I know. I feel like
stress eating.
To me though, I just feel like we recognize that there's life cycles to majority of things, and so we're just like, we're gonna put a measurement of something on it so we can track it.
But like time, the passage of time has been measured since like the Mayans and the Greeks and a long ass time.
Like a calendar year, yeah, but like the time of a day, they just had sundials.
But it's still a measurement of time. You can't have a sundial without having a measurement of time in place.
Yeah, but they didn't have like, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Better go do some Mayan shit. They had a giant disc with a little triangle on there, and it showed them the shadow on that disc, and I guess the whole thing was the day. And so like, oh no, the majority of my daylight's gone.
Can we get back on topic?
Alright, fine.
Okay. So, it says the final thing that we should appreciate about the black hole image is that we can see it at all. The telescopes used in the Event Horizon effort were radio telescopes. That means they only see radio frequencies on the electromagnetic spectrum. It could have been the case that all the activity surrounding the black hole could have absorbed or blocked those radio waves from reaching us. The material around the black hole is transparent to radio waves, so we can see through all the hot gas trying to get through the event horizon. Otherwise, all we'd see would be some big blob. A lot of things had to go right for the image to come together. There had to be some radiation emanating from the outskirts of the black hole, and it had to reach Earth without being knocked off course or occluded by a celestial object. The Event Horizon team constructed a virtual telescope the size of the Earth to view that radiation. It's a coincidence that the right size of telescope to see this black hole is the size of the Earth. If astronomers needed a telescope larger than Earth, they'd be out of luck. Then comes the human collaboration. 8 observatories all over the world had to sync up their clocks to an absurdly specific degree. With more images like this, we can better understand the black holes that lie at the centers of galaxies. We can better understand how our theories of gravity work in the most extreme of conditions, and know that it's possible another image of a black hole might be coming in the future. The Event Horizon team also tried to take a shot of the black hole at the center of our own galaxy called Sagittarius A. Pronounced aloud, it's Sagittarius A star, because it's an asterisk symbol. There's nothing wrong with that data on the black hole at the center of our galaxy. They just decided to analyze the M87 data first, he says. Black holes are some of the strangest things in our universe. They're at the same time tiny and massive, and they push our understanding of the universe to its extreme. So we should hope to see more of them. So I think it gets into a lot of things that people that are, I like to think that we're smart, but not that smart to fully understand astrophysics.
Yeah.
And I started saying like quantum physics, but I don't think it's that, because that's down to like subatomic levels is my understanding.
Yeah.
But still,
it's just, it's a very interesting picture. I'm just curious on how that so the virtual telescope, does that mean that they made like a program on a computer that basically amplified the telescope's like
since they said they used radio frequencies,
right?
What they did is from these 8 observatories around the world, they all broadcast radio frequencies at the same time and waited for those to come back.
Okay, so they basically made a collaboration of those.
That's why they said they had to synchronize their clocks
at a certain time. And then they took all of those radiation, right, or radio signals and brought them back in and made them into one image. Okay.
Yes. So it's not like an actual photo of a black hole.
For some reason, I was thinking they were I was going back to like hearing about how people can make virtual computers on their computer, like a separate computer inside a computer. I thought they were making like another telescope inside their computers, but it was the size of the Earth, and it was very hard to comprehend. But now I understand that it was actually several different observatories from around the globe that synchronized at a specific time, sent radio signals in a certain direction that they believed the black hole was in, and then waited for them to come back and brought all the images and put them together into one.
Well, and from my understanding, they knew the black hole was there. They had a theory that it was there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they couldn't see past that, I believe.
That's cool. That's way cool. So they're gonna have another image of black hole soon?
We might be able to capture an image of the Sagittarius A star, which is at the center of our galaxy.
So are they saying that this thing is just floating there, or it's moving around like a celestial body?
Well, it kind of depends, and I know that sounds like a cop-out. It's not, but actually our galaxies are constantly either expanding or collapsing on themselves.
Right.
And by collapsing, I don't mean like collapsing in and they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that can happen.
We believe that ours is actually expanding, right?
I believe that our galaxy is expanding.
It's expanding. It's like still bursting out from the Big Bang, right? Slowly.
I don't know if it's necessarily from the Big Bang, but
at least that was my understanding from that one show on TV with.
Okay. So yes, it is the Milky Way, which is where our solar system is housed. That's the galaxy which our solar system is housed.
Yeah. Is
expanding and will eventually grow into its neighbor, the Andromeda galaxy.
Ooh. Hey neighbor, can we have some sugar?
Let's see here.
A wild caterpillar.
Our galaxy is already 100,000 light years in diameter, New research says that its rate of growth is about 500 meters per second. 500 meters per second. And it says, but its merging with Andromeda will not happen anytime soon. It's expected to be another 4 billion years before they come together. Milky Way is home to several 100 billion stars, including the Sun. New stars are being created at its outer edge, and computer simulations suggested the incorporation of these stars was what was leading to the expansion. So, yes, our universe is expanding. At one point in time, I had heard a theory that with our universe expanding, that there was the chance that it could cause our our galaxy to go supernova and basically like rip apart on itself. That was still quite a few million or billion years away.
So not our problem.
Not in our lifetime, not in our kids' lifetime, not in our children's grandchildren's lifetime, but still. It's still definitely something that they have theorized.
Not my chair, not my problem. That's what I said.
Anyway, so I think that pretty well covers.
What do you think a black hole is?
Dude, we just talked about this.
No, I mean, but like, do you think it's another? Do you think it's a portal to another universe? Do you think, like, where does this shit go? Like, stuff's got to go somewhere, right? It doesn't just like get sucked into non-existence.
Our cat likes popcorn. Don't worry, there's no kernels in it.
I think they're gateways to another universe.
I think that everything is still there.
Like, what if it's a gateway to our neighbor galaxy?
Well,
or another galaxy, like, on the other side of where the fuck we're at.
But the thing is we're never gonna know, because
I'm not asking whether you know or not. I'm asking what you think it is.
I'm just saying it's billions of degrees temperature there. So there's no way that we could ever manufacture anything that would be safe, even if there's no humans on it. There's no way it would be safe.
So what do you think happens to the matter that gets sucked into it?
Well, the Law of Conservation of Matter by Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He says that matter cannot be created or destroyed.
Okay.
So matter always exists in some form. It can be changed, it just cannot be created or destroyed.
Basically you're saying that matter can burn up in a black hole, but it still turns into it's still a form of matter.
It's still matter.
Where does it go? Where do you think it goes?
It doesn't go anywhere. It's just we can't see it anymore. Do you think black holes
are just like trash cans that just keep sucking up trash and just storms trash? I guess what I'm imagining is like how people have invented these machines that are these like trash cans that float in the ocean and they just constantly suck in garbage. Like, do you think that's what a black hole is? Like my mother. You're so funny.
Thank you.
In a different form. So it's just like charred up, burned up matter that just floats there and inside of a black hole.
Why do you assume it's charred up, burned up matter?
Because you just said it was billions of degrees hot.
Yes.
So it's obviously going to be burnt up.
Not if it's something that doesn't.
Ash, dust to dust.
Because a lot of it, they're talking about like plasma and stuff like that. Like things that may not necessarily be capable of burning.
Okay, so it turns into a fuel.
Either way, it most likely changes its form on the matter.
Well, where does that go?
It doesn't go anywhere.
It just stays inside this orb of like hot suckiness. Is that what you're telling me?
Also known as Every Friday Night.
I think in the movie Interstellar, They believe that it's a portal into another universe. I think that's what I choose to believe, Julie.
You can choose to believe as much as you want.
I thought that they were trying to make an engine that would be powerful enough to push through a black hole.
It's not a matter of an engine powerful enough for it. It's a matter of we can't make something that's safe enough at that temperature.
But if you can make something that goes fast enough, couldn't you just like, whoop? Like imagine. Hold on, let me get my camera. Imagine holding a lighter with a little flame or a candle. You know, when you were a kid, you were like, hoo, ha, ha, hoo, ha, and it didn't hurt you. Like you went through the fire. You're like, oh, look at this. What if we made?
That's a different reason.
I'm saying, if we made a shuttle or some kind of spacecraft that can move fast enough through the black hole, would it even affect us? I mean, we're talking fast. We're talking fast.
Well, as of
faster than your daddy's car.
We haven't made anything that fast.
But we're working on it, right? Like we're already obviously we haven't made anything fruition, but we've got theories and we've got ideas that could actually do light speed or light speed, where you can bend time and move.
They're not bending time. Light speed literally means that they're moving at the speed of light.
Okay, they're working on that, but they're also working on things where they can like bend time, where basically the craft can move, like bend years around it and then push through it to another like 7 years in the future.
I haven't heard of this.
I don't know where I heard it, but I know I heard it.
Well, you'll have to do some research and report back to us some other time.
I think it might have been on a TED Talk or something. Anyways, my brain hurts enough talking about black holes, and I don't think you're the right person to go along with my craziness. So, let's talk about something else.
You're rude.
I'm just saying.
Talk about your conspiracy theory.
I'm just saying, like, where does the matter go? It can't just get sucked in there and just constantly burn. It goes somewhere, right? Otherwise, why are we calling it a black hole? Why don't we just call it the black suckiness?
Just because we can't see it.
The space trash can.
Alright. Moving on.
So, I recently discovered that there's a conspiracy about Trump.
Well, not the only one, but yes.
It's a good one, though. It's, hold on, let me, yes, we're expanding in different forms, dust, things get pulled apart. I thought that's what I believe. It's a portal or a way to travel, like a shortcut. Yeah, see, Mr. Nevermind's on my side. Mr. Nevermind's got the right amount of crazy to go along with my conversation. Anyways, so there's a conspiracy about Trump that I recently heard about time travel. Have you heard this? Have you heard this conspiracy? This cat.
Yes, I have.
Oh, let me see if I can find it real quick so I don't sound like an idiot like I already do.
Don't forget you're on Internet View.
I'm not.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Especially because of that.
Sublime. Oh, let's see who shared it to me. Shared it to me.
Isn't it just on your wall? No, I shared it to you.
Oh, yeah, you shared it to me with my messages. Let's see here.
I think it's that one that's not showing up right now under the Blue October thing.
The one that says Drunk America?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's funny.
So you have to click the pictures to go through it all.
Okay.
You want to share it on the internet view?
I don't know if I can. Can I show other people's comments?
Yeah, why not?
All right, we'll do internet view anyways, because I don't care anymore. I don't care. All right, guys, this is gonna be a first for the podcast. Welcome to my Facebook. So there's this conspiracy about a book that was written many moons ago about a Baron Trump. It was about a boy. So this chick says,
it's not about. It says Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey. It's on the
still about him, isn't it?
Office of Congress Library website, and there's a book written in 1893.
And so this book is about a boy named Baron Trump who found a secret portal to a time traveled. But that's not the crazy part. Wait for it. Oh my goodness! Donald Trump has a son named Baron Trump, and it gets even crazier because if you take the picture of the boy and the drawing of the boy, it's a little bit of a stretch, but they kind of look the same.
That's the boy from the book.
This is the boy from the book.
Named Baron.
And then this
Trump's
is the
son, Baron.
Yes. And they, did I click that? No. In the book, Baron Trump had a mentor. He looked up the name, and guess what? His name was Don. This shit gets even better. All this shit in the book takes place in Russia. I don't.
It shows that Melania Trump was born April 26, 1970 in Slovenia, and her child is Baron Trump.
Oh yeah, that part's like kind of covered up there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 4 years later in 1896, the same author writes a sequel to the book, but it was named The Last President, which went. This is where it gets real. The book is about a very wealthy man who lived in New York on Fifth Avenue, who ran for president but wasn't expected to win. Boom. Here's the address of a Trump Tower that supposedly Donald Trump frequently lives at. 725 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. Oh my gosh, bro. I swear to God, cannot make this shit up. Gets deeper. In the book, when he won, it surprised everyone, and people started writing and protesting after his inauguration. He started signing executive orders, but there's more. Remember, this book was written over 124 years ago. But anyways, after his inauguration, he started picking people for his cabinet, and guess who was one of the people? Secretary Agriculture, Leif Pence. That's right, he picks Pence. Cannot make this shit up. Y'all can read the book for yourself, but I'm not done yet. 1943, one of the most famous inventors named Nikola Tesla died from a blood clot. Before his death, he claimed he built a time machine and used it to travel back in time and in the future. After he died, the United States government took all of the inventions and notes. The name of the office that seized all the work was the Office of Alien Property. After they looked through it, they passed it to the FBI. Oh, and check this out. The Office of Alien Property. It exists, guys. Just so you know, this is a real government office. That was my stomach. I'm hungry. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I just want to let you know. After they gave up on trying to figure this inventions out, they hired a outside engineer who could understand the work of Nikola Tesla. And guess who this dude is or was? John G. Trump. They hired John G. Trump. John G. Trump is Donald Trump's grandfather. But after studying the time machine notes and inventions of Nikola Tesla, he told the government he didn't find anything. Could he have lied to keep the inventions to himself? Out of the hands of and to keep it out of the hands of the government? Fun fact, Donald Trump's mama name is Mary and his father's middle name is Christ. And he was born on the night of a total lunar eclipse. Don't believe me? Check this out. Mary Ann McLeod Trump, that's his mom. Frederick Christ Trump, 'tis his father.
Christ.
And he was born June 14th, 1946, at Jamaica Hospital Medical Center in New York City, New York.
I just like to point out that there's somebody in the comments that's laughing at the fact that it says he was born in Jamaica and is not American and should not be president. But joke's on you, fucker, as it was pointed out there. Jamaica Hospital in New York.
Yeah, it's the name of a hospital in New York. It's not in Jamaica. June 14th, and the night of the 14th and the morning of the 15th on 1946, there was a total lunar eclipse. Is Donald Trump a time traveler? Such as Donald Trump's Uncle John Trump's purported relationship with Nikola Tesla? Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey, 1900.
It just talks about that. Yes, they were legit books.
Yeah, these are legit books, complete. And then, so I'm in the Office of Congress Library. It just restarted, didn't it? Yeah, it just restarted.
So Snopes has covered a little bit of this.
What's Snopes got to say? Because let me tell you something. There's a conspiracy about Snopes, too, on how it's fake.
Okay. So, they did point... It's gone.
No!
It's gone. They did point out that Baron is not the person's name. Baron is just, like, as in a title. Like, that was his title, was Baron Trump.
Oh, it was his, like... stage name for writing?
His actual Trump, or actual, goddamn.
His actual Trump.
The book begins with a biographical notice of Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, commonly called Little Baron Trump.
Little Baron Trump. Okay. It's still kind of weird that there's still that similarity.
It also says that the word Don, like where they're talking about his mentor.
Yeah.
Don is also a word for
Mentor.
Mr. Oh. Like an honored version of the word Mr.
In Russia?
In Spanish. Because it says the character, who is, quote, a learned Spaniard, was introduced by Lockwood on page 2 of Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey.
A learned Spaniard meaning somebody who wasn't born in Spain, but he learned Spanish?
Could be, or just somebody who was born in Spain that is educated. Well-educated.
I guess so.
For the record, you can go to the Library of Congress website and you can read both of these books in full on the website. I have them pulled up now, and they are... Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey is 266 pages. The Last President is 68 pages.
There's still a lot of, like, coincidences, though.
I mean, there definitely is. It talks about the book mentioning the Fifth Avenue Hotel, meaning that it shares a street with Trump Tower. Since Fifth Avenue is a well-known part of New York that has been the site for several high-end restaurants, shops, and hotels since the late 1800s, this detail seems to be more a reflection of the time it was written and less a prescient note of where Trump Tower would eventually be constructed. It says, although these books contain some seemingly bizarre coincidences, they are not evidence that Donald Trump has access to a time machine. Time travel conspiracy theories such as this one pick and choose material that supports their conclusions while ignoring everything else. For instance, these books also contain giant turtles, alternate dimensions, a battle with a big white crane, a dog named Bulger, and a little smiling man frozen in time. Since these aspects have no clear connection to the Trumps, they're omitted from the conspiracy theory. And that's pretty common with any conspiracy theories, is that they're or anything in general, any stories in general, they're only going to report things that fit the narrative or the story that they want to tell. I know how excited you were about this and how you really wanted to make this a legit conspiracy theory. But I'm just not.
To be honest with you, I kind of came to like my limit on conspiracies.
What?
Yeah.
Cord and not conspiracies?
Okay, let me just clear something up. I'm not like I said it like several times before. I'm not like a crazy conspiracist. I'm not like I don't believe everything I hear or read. I'm not like, oh my god, there's got to be some kind of like the government planned this, the government did this, you know, like or whatever.
The government's out to get me. I better get my foil hat.
I know. I usually played the conspiracist for the podcast, for the past my BBG podcast, and for this one, because there used to be somebody else there, like Nick or you, who would be the opposite, who would be like, no, this doesn't exist or whatever. And it's like, it's not fun to have two people who are like, oh, this doesn't exist. And it's like, why are we talking about it then if we don't believe in it? So I always played the guy who believed in the conspiracy. And
Mr. Nevermind added, if he could time travel, wouldn't he travel to a time when he was popular?
Well, that would be now.
No.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm not really this crazy conspiracy. There's a couple conspiracies and I'm kind of like, maybe.
Like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I definitely think. That's my one conspiracy where I'm like, Courtney Love definitely fucking killed Kurt Cobain. She may have not done it personally. She probably hired somebody, but there's no way he committed suicide. Doesn't add up to me. So for the sake of the podcast, I always played the believer, the conspirator. And I was starting to like blur the line between we're playing a character and actually believing it. So then I was starting to go like, oh my god, like maybe Hitler's still alive, or maybe Hitler's down in South Africa, or you know, like, or Hitler's in the fucking ice cap.
Oh my god.
You know, and then I kind of like sat there and I was like, okay, we need to calm the fuck down. Like, we need to calm the fuck down and stop, because then you're gonna turn into one of those fucking like schizophrenic people who like just believe everything's a conspiracy. When I read this, I thought it was a great story. I thought it was hilarious that there was a couple similarities. But
it's just entertainment
value. It's just entertainment. There's no fucking way Trump is a time traveler or his son Barron's a time traveler and helped him get his presidency. There's a couple cute similarities, like he lived on Fifth Avenue and shit like that. But a lot of times too, you have to realize that people also make up a bunch of bullshit like conspiracies. Like they just fit stories together, or they just add random information that doesn't really exist to make a good story, and also to scare a bunch of people who are schizophrenic conspiracy believers. So
And not all conspiracy believers are schizophrenic. You're just saying that in your own personal case.
I'm not saying every conspiracy believer is a schizophrenic, crazy person. But I'm also saying that there are people who are like that, though. Who are like, the government's recording my dreams and they're trying to find me. Or, government knows that aliens exist and they live with us. It's like wrestling, just for entertainment.
Yes,
exactly.
For entertainment value.
I thought it was a great story. I thought it was hilarious. I wanted to share it with you guys because we talk about Trump a lot, and half the time I don't like talking about Trump. So I liked finding something that would have been kind of more entertaining and fun to talk about Trump with. Trump is a terrible president, and I don't like him. I think everyone here knows that. So what? This is news to me. So yeah, I think we just kind of blew our load on our two top stories for this episode.
I feel like we talked a good amount, though.
Yeah, we talked for a good hour. So I just want to I don't know, maybe clear up some things or not.
I don't know. I think that was a good ending point. I think.
You think that's a good ending point?
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and stay here on the Twitchers, the twitch.tv/the NVM podcast. Don't forget to follow us here. We are affiliated, and we do take your biddies. We take your donations and all that stuff. You don't have to give it to us, though, but we would really much appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the merch store. Pretty soon, we're going to be redesigning the merch store and adding some new merch to it as soon as I figure out how to do that, because Laureline did it first, and
I can do it. I was just waiting until the new products were available for us to create.
I kind of feel like we should just switch different merch sites, because Teespring's kind of weird now, where they're like, we have new products, but you can't use them.
You just have to make them design them for you, but they are going to get them so I can design them.
Okay.
It's just not right
we're
away.
gonna redesign some of the merch. So let us know maybe in the Discord or in the comments on some of our social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or in the comments on the SoundCloud. Let us know what kind of merch you guys would like from us. Also, go ahead and comment. We'd like to have a little bit more interaction with our viewers and listeners. So go ahead and comment on our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our Discord, as well as our SoundCloud has a comment section. Just let us know what you guys like hearing, like to hear, whether you guys want to hear us talk more about a certain subject, or if you would like to be a guest on the show. Let us know what subject you'd like to talk about, and what episode, the next episode you want to be on.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get you on. We can do voice through the Discord, or we can do Skype, however comfortable you feel. Yeah. Otherwise, check out the Spotify, the Tuned In, the Stitcher, the iTunes, and the SoundCloud. Like and follow us everywhere. Share the crap out of us, please. Shout out to our Blair listeners. Thank you for listening. It's actually really, really awesome feeling knowing that there's other people outside of your city who are listening to you, and outside of your country. So shout out to all the other people outside of America who are listening to us.
Yeah.
Check out our good friend, most commonly known as Musty. We got to change this, actually, the Zombie Foot Gaming to Zombie Foot J. Musty, his gaming channel on Twitch is Zombie Foot J, and his Instagram is Musty Goose. Check him out. He's a very great very great content creator. He actually has a podcast on Thursdays with 4 other people called My Guys. It's a take on Five Guys, but it's My Guys. It's 5 dudes, and they have the like picnic like checkerboard background, like the red and white checker-ish looking at like Five Guys. It's really cool. Check them out. They talk about interesting stuff. If you would like one of us, Loreline or King Cord One, to guest on your show, give us a shout out. We'd love to do that, and we'd also love to get you guys over here. So especially, I'd like to be a guest on the My Guys, just because it's fun. It's like a hangout basically. I think that's it. I'm gonna eat some popcorn here that I snuck. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Mr. Nevermind, for being here. Be sure to come back Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week, we'll have another amazingly entertaining episode, and we might even have a guest. We don't know. Depends on you guys. Check out the merch store. Check out the social media. Check out the other platforms. We love you so much. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the voiceover work as soon as I get collabing with Musty Zombiefoot J. I don't know how else to drag on this ending. So, love you all. We're going to go ahead and throw out the outro. If I co-host, would I get the good chair? You mean my chair? You want this chair?
Can you get any higher pitched?
You want this chair? Huh? You want the lazy boy? I mean, yeah, if you come over. Otherwise, you can just, if you don't, I don't know if you have a webcam. Go get a webcam, and then you can do it from your chair. What's a webcam?
What's a Skype? I'm just messing with you.
We would love to have you on the show. We'd love anyone to be on the show. So if you want to be on the show, go ahead and we can talk about it later.
Definitely.
Otherwise, everyone who is still here, it looks like we got somebody who came in right on the end of it. So thank you for coming. Videos are posted 24 to 48 hours later on Twitch and YouTube, and the audio is taken to all of our other audio platforms. Love you all. Have a beautiful rest of your night. I'm going to go get some Runza. That's a Nebraska restaurant. Love you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
For today, we're talking about Mars. We're talking about Mars. And he's like, ah! No, I feel like I shouldn't do that. I could have gone more, but I'm just gonna end it there.
That's pretty good. I'm just going to say something that might piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel like the pork tastes just like the chicken.